What's going on, Wolves? Welcome back to another episode of the Wake Up with the Wolf podcast. It is your host, DaSilva, and today we're going to be talking about how getting up early, in my opinion, is a fucking superpower. It will help you transform your life mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially. Once you start doing it, build it up as a habit in your life and don't fucking waver. Now, if you're tuning into this on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, the actual podcast apps, do me a favor. If this is your first time listening, subscribe right now and don't fucking miss another episode. Number two, if this is not your first time listening and you have not shared this out to a friend yet, get it done and go do it. You guys, I do not promote my podcast by utilizing ads or anything else. It is all grown through word of mouth. So every single time I review the charts and where we're trending, I review the downloads, I get one of you guys taking me in your Instagram story. It means a lot because the reason why I do this is just to give any sort of value that is in the back of my mind to you guys to hopefully benefit you mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially, to help you see the same success I have at the age that I currently am. Now, let's talk about getting up early. First and foremost, I'm going to hit y'all with a little viewer discretion is advised statement, for lack of a better term. Let you guys know that, again, do whatever the fuck you want. All right. I'm not trying to be an expert in this field. I'm not trying to say that it is my way or the highway. I'm not trying to say that if you don't do this, you will never see success in your life, because I just don't believe in absolutes around that topic, right? So if you can't wake up at a certain time due to your family or the fact that you work nights, then do whatever the fuck you want. But I wake up at 3 a.m. every single day, and I get an average of 4 to 6 hours of sleep every single day. So with that being said, I want to explain to you guys why I do that and why I think waking up early is a fucking superpower. It's actually funny. Myself, Daniel, Julia, and Hannah all have Aura rings. And if Daniel goes on there, because they actually have like a little friend sharing fucking Aura ring thing. I don't even know what it's really called, but they invited me to it the other day. It's called Circles, Daniel. Thank you. If you go and check that out, there's a couple days where you'll see me get anywhere from 7 to 9 hours of sleep. And then on average, I'm getting between 4 and 5 right now. Why? Because I've been grinding my fucking face off to get some new things off the ground, number one. Number two, I have been pushing myself extremely hard physically because I have an 8-week goal that I would like to hit based off of the fact that we're going to see our Arizona boys, the Andy Elliott group, at the end of July, and I'm fucking not showing up there with fat. This is just not going to happen. So I'm pushing myself like crazy. And the reason why I brought that up is because it also holds me accountable to making sure that I am waking up at that time to push myself consistently. And again, also just kind of like an authoritative statement in the aspect of I'm not just saying this, guys, to say it. People in my circle and people around me see me get an average of 4 to 6 hours of sleep every single night, waking up at 3 a.m. every single day, because of the fact that I've got goals and a routine that I've built in right now. Now let's get into it and let's break it down. Why do I think waking up at 3 a.m. is a fucking superpower? Well, because it gives you more time to work on the goals that you want to achieve. Pause. You might be thinking, well, Cole, that's actually not true, because if I wake up at 3 a.m., that means I need to go to bed earlier. You see, that's where me and you have a difference of opinion. And this is where I stated, all right, this podcast isn't for everybody. And I'm not giving health advice. I'm not giving you advice that you should take if you feel like this isn't good for you. I'm letting you know what works for me. I wake up at 3 a.m., but I don't go to sleep earlier to get 8 hours of sleep due to the fact that I have my goals front faced of mind and I have a future goal that I would like to achieve. Back in the day, rewind, all right, I hated waking up before 5 a.m. I absolutely fucking hated it. If I had to for work when I was an iron worker, I would bitch and whine and complain. If I had or was choosing to do it after I quit my iron working job while I was PTing, I would bitch, whine, and complain. I did not enjoy it. So for the longest time, I was where you guys are right now. I was in the place of give me my sleep. I don't like waking up early. There's no fucking point. It doesn't benefit me in any way. Blah, 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 whine, 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 whine. And then my days started to get busier as an entrepreneur. And then things got overwhelming in entrepreneurship. And then we ended up buying a gym. And then we started traveling the world and stepping on stages. And then I figured out that my wife was pregnant and we had our beautiful baby boy, Cade. So there was thing after thing after thing after thing that started taking up time from my days. So I just took a 10,000 foot view at my life and was like, okay, listen, if I wake up at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., Cade's already awake. And then that means I'm spending time with him and Julia, making sure that he's good to go. All right. And she's not overwhelmed, especially with the dog. And then after a couple minutes of that, I'm rushing into work because my first meeting is at 8:30. So I only have around an hour and a half before I need to be in my first meeting. And then I have my podcast at 9, like I'm doing for you guys right now. And then after that, I have meeting after meeting after meeting after call after call after call. Not to mention I need to be at the gym to make sure nothing is burning into the ground and help our manager, Brett, fucking situate everything. So when I took a 10,000-foot view at my life and I looked at the wake up time between like 5:45 and 7 a.m., I was like, that's just not feasible for me. If I want to see success mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially, I need to actually prioritize myself, prioritize my mind, prioritize my fitness, and give myself time to breathe, space to breathe in the morning. So I zoomed the fuck out and I just chose 3 a.m. because of the fact that if I wake up at 3 a.m., I can work on my mindset. I can get a little bit of work done on my content. I can work on my fitness when it comes down to my bodybuilding training and fitness when it comes down to my boxing training before my wife opens her eyes, before 90% of my friends open their eyes, before our clients open their eyes, before my son opens his eyes. I get all of that shit done before anybody starts nagging me for what they need from me as a business owner and entrepreneur. Right now, it is what, 9:15, Daniel? Yep. Right? It's 9:15 in the morning. I have already done a 45-minute workout, 15 minutes of steady state cardio, 15 minutes of content ideation, my morning routine when it comes down to affirmations and gratitude journaling, a meditation, and because I always do this every morning, a cold shower just to get my blood flow going. I spent 15 to 25 minutes with the little baby Cade and Julia as soon as I got home, just spending time with them, connecting like I like to do as a husband and a father every single morning. Then I came down here after all that shit was done, super relaxed, busted out a meeting, all right, busted out a simple content call, and now I'm doing my podcast. When most people, right now it's what, 9:15, woke up an hour ago, maybe an hour and a half ago, rushed to get dressed because they were procrastinating what they needed to do in the morning just so they could rush to a job that they fucking hate and they don't feel prepared for the day. So they're now going to bitch and whine all day that they don't want to be there in the first place. I feel like waking up early is a superpower because it not only gives you time to prioritize your health and your mindset, it gives you time to prioritize yourself. It also gives you time to get space from the things that you need to do. If you guys want to grow mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially, give yourself space to grow first. Feel me? When I wake up that early, I don't need to be a husband. I don't need to be a father. I don't need to be a business owner. I can just be Cole. No one needs anything from me. So I get to pour into my cup. So when I am faced with a problem, when I am presented with an opportunity, when I am father mode, husband mode, entrepreneur mode, friend mode, I'm a better person for all of those opportunities and all those people because I put myself first. Now, again, let's revert back to when I'm going to sleep at night because a lot of you guys might see that as unhealthy, and I'm not promoting that it is healthy. But you see, I have a very large long-term goal on my wall and on my fridges and in my garages. I've got my 25-year vision painted across my wall right now. And I am working as hard as I am right now and prioritizing the things that I need to prioritize right now. So when that goal becomes reality, I can sleep a little bit longer. I don't need to worry about wearing all the hats in my business. I don't need to worry about getting those phone calls at 9 at night or fucking 6 in the morning based off of something needing to be fixed at that current time. I am making choices today for my future. Where a lot of you guys are making choices today based off of how you feel today, neglecting your future. Let me say that again. If you want ultra success in life, you need to start making decisions today for your future. Stop making decisions today based off of how you feel today and neglecting your future. So yeah, there's some times where I'm fucking tired. There's times where I'm exhausted. There's times where I'm overwhelmed. There's times where I'm stressed the fuck out. And I would rather just sleep those 8 hours. And there are times where I choose to. It's not like I never rest ever. I've never said that in my life. But I am very aware of how I am feeling and what I need to embrace at that time. If I'm super rested, if I feel good mentally and physically, I get my ass out of bed no matter what. And I get the shit done that I need to get done. Because then when I get home, after I'm done that entire morning routine, the gym sessions, the boxing, and everything else, I get to be a present dad and a present husband for around a half an hour to an hour before I need to do any work, before I need to do a meeting, before I need to do a podcast, before I need to take business calls for the 1,500 plus clients that we have, before I need to take business calls for the 14,000 square foot gym that we own, Aesthetic Nation, before I need to do anything. I get to be present with the people that I love. That is my definition of balance. All right. And again, when it comes down to the sleep thing, the reason why I only sleep around an average of 4 to 6 hours a night is because I have my entire day of work. All right. We then do our nighttime routine with Cade, where I get milk for Julia while she's changing him. She reads books for him. I come in and brush his teeth. We play with him a little bit. We put him in bed. This happens every single night like clockwork. Right? I don't know why, but he loves it when I brush his teeth. He doesn't really love it when Julia brushes his teeth. So we do it. It's our nighttime family routine. It's like clockwork. And then after that's done, Julia and myself, my beautiful wife and I, spend time together. We'll have a meal. We'll watch a show. We'll play a game. We will do something together instead of just going to sleep. There's a lot of people here. There's a lot of people who hear me say I wake up at 3 a.m. and they're automatically like, well, motherfucker, you say you're doing it so you can be a good dad, a good husband, a good business owner, but then you're going to say bye to your wife and your kid when you have to go to bed at 7. No, you are going to have to do that shit. I can operate off 6 hours of sleep. I've been doing it for fucking 3+ years. Don't believe me? Go on my Instagram. Go on my TikTok. Go on my YouTube. Go on my podcast. I've been talking about this shit for years. I've been talking about this shit since I was a fucking iron worker. Even when I hated waking up early, I wouldn't sleep that much because I would utilize my evenings after grinding all day to prioritize my wife and prioritize my friends. I'm not saying it is the healthiest thing to do. What I am saying is that me doing that, embracing that lifestyle, has helped me progress immensely in all areas of life, mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially. Most people like to let life happen to them when I'm about making things happen for me in life. I heard a video this morning where this woman on TikTok, and I'm super fucking happy for her now that she's figured out her online business. I'm not going to drop her tag or anything because I'm kind of going to call her out her mindset here and I don't want to be rude. But she was talking on TikTok and she's like, I finally figured out a business that I can make money at. It blows my mind that I didn't figure this shit out earlier. In the last 60 days, I made $230,000. And if I'm not mistaken, she's doing some sort of drop shipping. I didn't look into it that deeply. But she said a statement in this that really pissed me off. And she said, I had to figure out something that worked. So I buckled down and I did everything I fucking could because at 55 years old, I didn't want to work until I was 80. And you know, sometimes you just close your eyes, you blink, and your life is fast forwarded that far. You know, life happens. Pause. No, it fucking doesn't. You guys are just choosing to let life pass you by because you are acting like everybody else. And in that story, listening to her, I wanted to comment. I wanted to call her and be like, motherfucker, if you would have just embraced this mindset 15, 20 years ago, you would be doing the same shit that you are right now. You'd be making the same impact that you are right now, income that you are right now. But you chose to let life happen to you. You chose to just say, this is what happens in life. It just passes you by. And now you're successful at 55 instead of 35 like you could have been. You guys, you have a fucking choice every single time your eyes open. Play at your highest potential or act like everybody else. That's it. You have the fucking choice every day. Play at your highest potential or act like everybody else. What the fuck are you going to choose? Most of you guys just blend into society. And then you just add to the narrative that life is quick and it flies by and you only have one chance. You do only have one chance, and it does fly by. But that doesn't mean you can't do shit with it, motherfucker. What are you talking about? If you guys just all chose today, you know what? Let me wake up 2 hours earlier. That's it. Don't go to bed late earlier. Just wake up 2 hours earlier. You would drastically transform everything in your life, mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially. Why? Because you would have time to prioritize the shit that was important to you. If you stopped spending every fucking evening binge watching TV and actually worked on the things that mattered, you would drastically transform the things that you would like to do in your life. The side of you that has massive goals in your relationship, massive goals in your business, massive goals when it comes down to your fitness. I think waking up early is a fucking superpower because it gives me uninterrupted time to do the shit that I want to do in my life without people being on my fucking back. Waking up early is a superpower because you are able to prioritize the goals that you so desperately say you want to achieve without somebody else nagging at you that you need to give time to them. I think waking up early is a superpower because it gives you time to focus on your health, focus on your business, focus on your relationship before all of life's problems get in your way. All of your excuses wake the fuck up and hold you back. Well, you see, Cole, I can't work on my business because I just have to prioritize my current job. Well, if you woke up 2 hours earlier and worked on your business, you might be able to get out of that job in 365 days. But now you tired, homie. You exhausted, homie. You stressed out, homie. Shut the fuck up. Guess what? Everyone who is successful is tired. Every millionaire I know is exhausted. There ain't one rested fucking person among us. We're all tired. Because it takes grit to build businesses. It takes resilience to fucking make it in this game. And it's not made for everybody. So let's remove the millions. Let's remove the business for a minute and just look at your body. Well, you see, Cole, I'd be able to lose weight and achieve my physique goals if I just had more time. But like I work 10, 12 hours outside, or I work 10 hours at my fucking current job, and I'm just super tired by the time I get home. I get it. I didn't want to train 2 hours to get ready for my fitness competitions after working outside as an iron worker for 10, 12 hours a day. Now, I did it because I had grit. But what I would suggest you do is just wake your fucking ass up earlier and go to the gym first. Well, why would I do that? Because then you might have more energy at work and you might do a better job at work. You might get a raise at work. You might feel better at work, right? Well, you see, Cole, my gym is too far for me to get up and drive there in the morning and then get back and shower and then go to work. Dope. Do a home workout. I lost 37 pounds in the span of 16 weeks during the vid. I was training in my fucking basement. The transformation's up on my Instagram right now. Cut it with your fucking excuses. Make it work. I think waking up early is a superpower because it contradicts your guys' excuse of I don't have time or I can't find time because you make time when you wake up early. Now, you also got to pair it with not going to bed earlier. Is it the most healthy thing for you? Maybe not for your lifestyle. But is it going to give you more time to work on your health goals, your wealth goals, your relationship goals, and your self goals? You bet your fucking ass it does. And you might have to sacrifice for 6 months so you can live the rest of your life sleeping in and enjoying it. And to me, that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. I'm willing to sacrifice my sleep for the next 5 years so my family is set up for the next 3 generations. I'm willing to sacrifice my sleep for the next 5 years to achieve every fucking goal that is on that vision board. Because I know when those things become reality, I'll be able to sleep a little bit more. Success is rooted in fucking sacrifice. What are you willing to let go of so you can become the person you dream of being? It's a question you got to face if you want to make it anywhere in life. And if you don't face it, if you keep avoiding it, you're going to stay in the same fucking place you are right now, mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially. Go look in the mirror, open up the bank account, and ask yourself, am I happy? Because that life you are creating and you are sustaining. Now, there's going to be some people that are like, it's not that deep, bro. You're just waking up early. I agree it's not that deep. But for some reason, when you say in this world, I wake up at 3 a.m., a bunch of people get triggered like little fucking sheep. I wake up at 3 a.m. and I get an average of 4 to 6 hours of sleep a night so I can prioritize everything in my life at once because I don't believe in this bullshit term of society's balance. Don't work your ass off too hard. You got to take a break all the time. Every evening should be spent with family. Every weekend should be spent with family and yourself. You see, that type of balance keeps y'all motherfuckers broke. For real. Balance, the definition of balance in my mind is different than the definition of balance in your mind. Society's definition of balance is every evening and every weekend, you should take it off with your family to relax. My definition of balance is let me sacrifice some sleep so I can do everything 7 days a week to see success in every area of my fucking life. That's what separates us, and that's what separates you and incredibly successful people on the internet that you watch every day and then hate on because they figured it out when you couldn't. Instead of bitching and whining, instead of attacking people for what they are doing, why don't you implement some things to see if it works for your life? That's what I did, and that's why I figured out that 3 a.m. was a great time for me. I used to hate waking up earlier than 5 a.m., 6 a.m. Then I just asked myself the realistic question of how am I going to be a father, a husband, a business owner, a content creator when I've got to balance all this at the same time? And then I started absorbing content online and I saw that somebody was waking up at 3 a.m. and I saw how much peace they had because they were able to knock off 2 to 3 of the goals that they had every single morning before they had to be any of those things. And I was like, cha-ching, that's it. To me, waking up is a superpower. It is a superpower because it gives you more time. And time is the most precious thing that you need to embrace and hold on to in this life. All right, take it from a person with money. Money's cool. Money's a blast. Money lets you get anything that you fucking want. But time is everything. You might have to sacrifice some of it now so you can have an ass load of it in the future. Because when you try to reverse it and you don't sacrifice now, your future is always darker. Just how it is. You don't believe me? Go to an old folks' home and have conversations with all of these elders on what their biggest regrets are. Nobody will ever say, I took too much risk. Not going to happen. Might not be very deep to you, but it's deep to me. Waking up earlier will help you achieve all of the goals you want to achieve. Stop making excuses and start looking for fucking solutions. I'm out of here. Subscribe to the podcast. We out. Peace.